Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth session of Sahaj Yoga meditation. So far, we have covered a lot of things. We came to know about our mother energy, we came to know about the three channels within us which control our past, present, and future. We also came to know how to protect ourselves by taking Bandhan. We'll get started with a small quiz to find out if we still remember what we have learned so far. And today we'll continue knowing more about who actually started Sahaj Yoga. And we'll also learn about the subtle energy centers within us, the storehouse of all the energy within us. So, welcome on board. So let's quickly answer a few questions to see if we remember what we have learned so far. The first question, name the mother energy within us. What is the name of that power within us? Okay, I hope you all remember. The second question, how many channels do we have in our subtle system? How many channels did we learn to balance us? I hope you have the answer. And the third question, what should we take to protect ourselves? How to protect yourself? So let's see the answers now. Kundalini is the mother energy within us. She nurtures us and takes care of us. And we have three channels within our subtle system, the left, right, and the central one. The central channel is the one in which Mother Kundalini rises. And we protect ourselves by raising our Kundalini and taking a Bandhan. All the discoveries that human beings have done so far, be it the early man who discovered the power of fire which led to the delicious dishes, or the wheel that led to further advancement of humanity. And in the recent years we had the World Wide Web, which contained the whole world in a small phone that you hold right now. So all these discoveries led to the advancement of human beings, but on the outer side. None of these guarantees you happiness from inside. There's another discovery which happened a few years back for the inner transformation of human beings. Yes, for the evolution of human beings. Let's proceed with today's session now. I want you all to take a moment to think upon which discovery do you think was the best for all of us? And who really did across the world? Dr. Nirmala Srivastava, whom we lovingly called Shrimataji Nirmala Devi. Yes, she single-handedly did the most difficult task for all of us. She broke our Sahasrara very lovingly through the power of our Mother Kundalini, and interestingly, she spread it across the world without any charge. Such is the love of our great mother. She has been a dynamic character in the independence of India, being a dearest child to our Mahatma Gandhi. She has redeemed thousands of people across the globe, and we all feel it. Her birthday is celebrated as the World Peace Day by United Nations. She has been nominated for Nobel Prize and have won numerous awards and recognition. But she has much more to give than this. Yes, your whole universe, the whole power of Mother Kundalini that you have within you can be easily awakened with the power of her love. So let's deep dive into the knowledge that she has given to all of us. So let's know more about our subtle system and then experience it. I want you all to take a moment to think that is there anything around us that could work or operate without energy? The fan that is blowing the wind above your head works on electricity, which is energy. The phone that you are using right now, or the laptop, has a battery that provides it energy. All the things, all the living things in the world sustain on energy. In biology, we see that the plants also prepare their food in the form of energy, which provides them the energy to grow. So, this human body that you carry around everywhere, it does a lot of number of tasks. It digests your food on its own, it purifies the air you breathe on its own, it converts it into hemoglobin, it does a lot of work. How does it do that? Where's the energy? The food that you eat may give you energy to perform the physical work, but the nutrients that break down and each and every cell in your body knows what is to be done. It is such a well managed system. How does it happens? It happens with the help of the 7 energy centers that are within us. These 7 energy centers take care of each and everything that happens inside us. Yes, each and everything, which means it not only controls the physical aspect of you, it also controls the emotional and mental aspect of you. So, let's understand our 7 energy centers and know about them by Shrimataji herself.
Is created within us during the process of our evolution. The first one is the most beautiful one because it stands for our innocence. This innocence is the one which gives us real support, real strength. And you'll be surprised, it is never destroyed. It may be overshadowed, there may be clouds, maybe it may look to be a very dark sky, maybe a hopeless case. Some people might say that we have destroyed our innocence. It cannot be destroyed. Whatever you might have done, this is one center which cannot be destroyed. You may have problems with it, but it cannot be destroyed. It is such a wonderful center you have got, which has got 4 petals, which looks after the pelvic plexus, looks after all the excretion within us. In our own freedom, so-called, we do all kinds of things which may not be benevolent for ourselves. Doesn't matter. Kundalini cannot be destroyed. The source which is going to give you the self-realization, I say she is your individual mother. And this mother is such a loving mother. And she knows each and everything about you from your past lives. She knows you very well. She's just waiting for a chance that she can be awakened and she can give you your second birth. So what happens in the second centers when it enters? You just become dynamic because the second center is for aesthetics and for creativity. Because their Kundalini goes up and the creativity becomes so tremendously active and so dynamic. At the same time, that person becomes very mild, very sweet, very compassionate. So this violence, this anger, this temper is not your creation. It's the creation of your liver. Your liver is little out of order because of many things, and the temper is there. Now, when that temper is too much, you don't know what to do. I mean, you can do whatever you like. In your temper, after all, it's like a drunken personality. You have to approach a person in a temper with a barge pole. But all this temper, everything becomes so cool and so beautiful. It's very surprising. A very dynamic person becomes extremely compassionate. So in Sahaja Yoga, an artist who is struggling today may become a great artist tomorrow. But still I would say these are temptations. You'll become a great artist, you start earning more money, this, that. But that's not the one you have to really be satisfied with. You will never be satisfied with that. So you move to the third center, which we call as the Nabhi Chakra. This center is, on one side, is made of water, another side with fire. Around it are our 10 valencies, which we can call as our innate religion within ourselves. Now this Nabhi itself, or we can call the solar plexus, or we can say the navel chakra, gives us, as soon as the Kundalini rises, she awakens this, and the light, when it spreads, you become religious. I don't have to tell you anything. You just become. I don't have to say that you don't take drugs. You just don't take it. Overnight I have seen people have given up drugs. Overnight alcoholism, overnight everything. And they enjoy their virtues. That's the best part of it. Some people think, oh, then what is the fun? What is this that you take something in the pub and next day you have hangover? Here you take something and next day you are much better off. It never comes down. It never gives you a reaction. It's not artificial. It's not intoxicating. It is from your nerves. It's bubbling out. So this is the center which is very important in us, because most of us have a problem with this center. And here we have a capacity by this center that we enjoy our generosity. Now we have the center which we call here as the heart center. It controls the left and right both. So we have a left and right heart in Sahaja Yoga. As you know that in childhood till the 12 years of age, the thymus, this sternum bone creates the antibodies for you. And these antibodies fight your diseases. So when this center goes out, this is the center which sends all the messages to these antibodies. Now this is the center of a mother. When your motherhood is challenged, you develop breast cancer. Supposing a man is a flirt and his wife is worried, she might get a breast cancer because her motherhood is challenged. And her sense of security is very disturbed. As a result of that, she gets this problem. But do you know this is the center of a husband or of the father? Now if I am telling you, you should not be shocked, because later on you will find it. Now if you are a bad husband, you can get asthma, or if your wife is a shrew, you might get an asthma, or if you are a very bad father, you might get an asthma, or if your father is not kind to you, you might get an asthma. If you have not forgiven your father, you might get asthma. The left heart is the place of the mother. Now if your mother has been hard with you, if you have had very bad experiences, you will have problems of the left heart. Center heart is very important, where your sense of security should be established. You'll be surprised in the disease called AIDS, is the center heart which is out. We have tried to cure, and we cured also 3-4 people from AIDS, but they have no willpower to continue with surgery. So then we come to this center, which is we call as the Vishuddhi. This is 16 petals, looks after the cervical plexus. Now this is a very, very important center. And this is the center is for communication. Also when we think we are very responsible, the center goes out. But once you become a Sahaja Yogi, you just do it, no doubt. But you don't think that you are doing it. You just say it's happening. And what a beautiful feeling it is. Then you don't have blood pressures, you don't have headaches, you don't have tensions. No, because we are not doing it, it's just done. And you find it's all done. Now on this center when we come, as I told you, your thinking is controlled by you. You can control. If you want, you can think or you don't think. But in that silence, you feel your peace. If there's too much of crowds, too much of problems, suddenly you become the witness. You start seeing everything, seeing the problem, what it is. Unless and until you can see the problem, you cannot solve it. Because you are in the problem, you just get upset. But if you are out of the problem, you can see it. And that's what happens to you when you become thoughtlessly aware when this center opens out. Last but not the least is the center of limbic area, which is very important. Now, I do not know it has been discovered or not, but will be very soon discovered that very strong things like cracks and all that have got sulfuric acid in it. And that doesn't go anywhere in the body, just rushes into the limbic area. Now this limbic area is a hollow place, which has got all cells here very sensitive to joy, happiness, but they become numb. So numb that ordinary music you cannot hear. Somebody has to scream at you, has to shout at you, he has to jump on it. Otherwise you cannot enjoy. Then it has to be worse and worse and worse and worse. I don't know, now with cracks, later on they might develop something even more poisonous. Because it has to excite this limbic area, which is such an important thing. But as soon as the Kundalini enters into that area, limbic area, she soothes it, and it opens like a lotus, 1,000-petal lotus. It opens, and then the Kundalini emerges out of your fontanelle bone area and gets connected to the all-pervading power. Then you start feeling the cool breeze in your hand. You can feel it all over. Some people in the beginning who felt cool breeze would not believe it. So they closed doors, everything, and sat down to see. Still they were feeling it. But it works. Works in the sense that you get empowered. You become peaceful. You become the witness. You become the wise. And you become empowered that you can give realizations to others like this, that you can raise their Kundalini like this, and you can establish that connection. You can do. And this is what is your right to have it. This is what will give you meaning. Otherwise, so far, whatever we have been doing is very frustrating.
Having learned about these 7 chakras from Shrimataji herself, now let's have a quick recap. Let's look at these chakras also so that we remember what we have learned. The first center, and the really important one, makes us innocent like a little child. Our face beams with happiness and joy when this center is cleared. The second center, Swadhisthana, which is at the location where we usually tie our belt. Yes, this center makes us creative. This center is the center of all the knowledge and makes us very dynamic both at academics and extracurriculars. The third energy center, the Nabhi chakra, resides near our stomach area. Yes, the same stomach that makes us feel hungry. Because this chakra, when enlightened, it makes us feel satisfied. The satisfaction which we receive when our stomach is completely filled. We feel satisfied with whatever we have, and acceptance is the first step to improvement. So once you are satisfied, you improve, you evolve in life. So this is the center of evolution as well. All around our Nabhi chakra is the vast ocean of illusion. The illusion that makes us lazy, the illusion that makes us confused between two things, the illusion that usually distracts us. This is the ocean of illusion in which we all are stuck, and once this area, which is known as the void or Bhavsagara, enlightens, we become our own master. We become very self-disciplined, we become patient, and the dharma within us, the righteousness within us, is established. Then comes the Anahat or the heart chakra. It resides near your heart and it provides you the power to love. Also, it gives you fearlessness. It makes you strong from within. Then we have our fifth energy center, which is known as the Vishuddhi chakra, and it resides in our throat. Being in the throat, it gives us power to communicate. It makes us speak and express our ideas very clearly. It gives us confidence to speak and communicate to other people. So it is a very important chakra for all of us. The sixth energy center, the Agya chakra, resides on our forehead and controls the portion related to our brain and mental activities. And this chakra can be easily cleared by forgiving everyone. Yes, this chakra has the innate quality of forgiveness. And then comes the ultimate and the final destination, the Sahasrara chakra. Once our Mother Kundalini reaches this chakra, we enter into a doubtless awareness state. We become completely thoughtless and feel an inner connection to everything. We feel an inner connection and power of love for everyone. After reaching this chakra, the Kundalini Mother takes complete care of us and we evolve into a greater personality. Now let's feel these energy centers within us and learn how to harness their powers through meditation. I want you all to sit very comfortably as we sit for meditation by making contact with Mother Earth. We'll keep our left hand open in front and the right hand we'll place at the location of various chakras within our body and say an affirmation to clear them and harness their power through meditation. Let's look at Shimataji for a little while and slowly close our eyes. Just observe your breathing and let it calm down. Now place your right hand on your Muladhara chakra, which is a little below from the area where we tie our belt. Here we'll pray, Mother, please make me innocent. Shimataji, please make me an innocent child. Slowly bring your right hand to your Swadhisthana chakra, which lies in the area where we tie our belt, a little below from our navel. Here we'll pray, Mother, please give me pure knowledge. Shrimataji, please make me creative and give me pure knowledge. Now place your right hand at your stomach where lies the Nabhi chakra at the central portion of your stomach, and here we'll pray, Mother, please make me completely satisfied. Shrimataji, please make me completely satisfied. Place your right hand on your heart at the central portion of our heart, and here we'll pray, O Mother, by your grace I am completely fearless. Shrimataji, please make me completely fearless. Please give me strength and make me fearless, Mother. Now we'll place our right hand on our throat and we'll pray, Mother, please bless me with the power of speech. Shimataji, please give me the power to express myself clearly and confidently. We'll slowly observe that with the affirmation for Vishuddhi Chakra, our vibrations have started increasing, have started flowing more strongly. We'll pray again, O Mother, please clear my Vishuddhi Chakra and make me feel your love. Now we'll place our right hand on our forehead. Here we'll pray, Mother, please make me forgiving. Shimataji, by your grace, I forgive everyone. Now we'll place our right hand on the top portion of our head and press it a little with the help of our palms. Here we'll pray, O Mother, please establish my self-realization. Shimataji, please establish my connection with the power of love. Slowly bring both your hands back to your lap and we'll sit in meditation for a little while. I hope that you achieved a deeper meditative state today, and all of you must have felt thoughtless for a little while, even though for a little while, but it must be there. Meditation is all about becoming thoughtless. So, what we had learned today is we came to know about our subtle system, the 7 energy centers within us, and how to meditate on those 7 energy centers. What more we can do is, whenever we need in requirement of a particular quality, we can meditate on that particular chakra. For example, if you have some art to create and you have to participate in a drawing competition or maybe a music competition, you just sit in meditation and pray to Mother Kundalini to clear your Swadhisthana chakra, which is the center of the knowledge and creativity. Similarly, if you feel scared, you can meditate more on heart chakra. If you feel less confident in giving speeches on stage, meditate more on your Vishuddhi chakra. And if you do not feel really thoughtless during meditation and you feel that someone has said something which is disturbing you, then meditate on your Agya chakra and forgive that person. And finally, for meditation, for regular meditation, we focus our attention on Sahasrara chakra, which integrates the qualities of all these chakras. So, hope you came to know a good and a deeper meaning about yourself today, and you would like to continue with us on this journey ahead. Thank you for joining the session today and meditating with all of us. We hope that you continue on this journey and keep on discovering the beautiful horizons that lie within yourself. All you have to do is to spare out 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night. And slowly you'll see that you are growing deeper and deeper in this experience. So, there's no wrong time for meditation. Whenever you feel low, you can sit to balance yourself and receive God's grace on you. So we hope to see you next time with some amazing stuff to talk about, with some new things to learn about, and with some more meditation experience to share about. So see you all in the next session.